Hello, this is the Reading on the Rocks podcast. We are Kelsey,
Chandler,
and Morgan. We like to drink and read books and then talk about them. Welcome to the group chat.
welcome back, book besties.
It might get old, Jan. I don't know.
I'm here for it.
I think we'll keep going until you're sick of it.
I think last time I said book buddies. And this
Book
time
buddies.
I said
There you
book
go.
besties.
Tell us what
Moving
you think,
up.
chat.
I just want to have a regular intro. I want every episode to start the same. Never gets
Okay,
old.
let's keep it then. I'm here for it.
Let's do it.
The audience can let us know if they're here for it too. Let us know. Well, welcome back to another episode of Reading on the Rocks. We read The Kiss of Iron by Clare Sager. Seeger? I go Sager. But before we get into the book and all that fun stuff, let's do what we're drinking today. Kelsey, what do you got?
So I ran out of rum, but then I remembered that I had tequila that I got in Mexico for some reason. This is 12 years ago that I got this, but so this is tequila and Sprite with a little bit of like a fruit punch sparkling water. Just to
Yum.
add a zest.
Paired with a bendy straw.
Zing. Morgan, what do you got today?
I got a Diet Coke today.
Yum.
We're keeping it pretty straightforward. What about you, Chan?
I have a blood orange seltzer.
Ooh, crispy.
I've never tried it before, and I'm quite here for it.
Let's do a taste test.
Yes. It's the Surge. So
What
it's
is
supposed
it?
to have more flavor. It's Surge.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
I've
supposed to
had
have more
those.
flavor.
Mhm.
And can confirm.
Yeah,
That's
I like
what I
them.
need, apparently. The surge kind, because I don't like the regular.
Me
Yeah.
either, but this is
Why?
good.
Because it tastes like TV static, or why?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much. It tastes like nothing to me.
TV
It's like
static.
having... It's like drinking like cucumber water. Like all you get is the teeniest
Ew.
little taste, and then it's just water.
It's like
So,
smelling a fruit and then drinking sparkling water.
Yeah.
Gross.
It's not
I don't
enough
get
flavor
that.
for me.
Do you like
Um,
heavy teas though? Alcoholic
Yes.
teas? You do?
Yeah.
That's
I've
disgusting.
never tried them.
I don't drink like a lot of them. Like I could have one, and then I'd have to switch to something not so
Not so heavy.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel it.
I've never tried them. But they have this like drink in Minnesota. I have to get a pack. It's my favorite. And I can only find it in Minnesota.
Bring it here.
What the hell is up with Minnesota making drinks that you can only find in Minnesota? Somebody tell me that. Somebody inform me on why that's the thing.
Why can't Minnesota share their drinks?
Share the wealth, Minnesota.
What's the issue?
They probably just have like a whole bunch of like breweries and
Yeah, they probably just have
cideries and
local
all the
stuff.
things that just are just local stuff. Like Alaska has a bunch of local stuff too. That
but
I like those
probably
local.
wouldn't be
I remember
elsewhere.
those Alaska seltzers are good.
Yeah.
That's true. But I've seen the Alaska seltzers in Colorado and Montana.
Yeah, they've
I've never
distributed
seen them
a
here.
little bit, but
Are they out here?
Yeah.
What the hell? I need to get out more, I guess.
you visit some liquor stores some more.
Yeah, if it's not at 3Gs down the street, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I think you gotta go to like I think I've only ever seen them at straight up liquor stores.
Is it vodka?
I don't know.
That
No,
would
it's like
explain why I like it so much if it's vodka.
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I'll have to tell Tim to look.
I'll check out the Minnesota liquor stores and let you know.
Yeah. Touch base.
There you go.
Do you know you can't buy alcohol in a grocery store in Minnesota? You have to go to a liquor store. You can buy it like certain like under 3% alcohol.
Same with
Not
Alaska.
even like
Grocery
wine?
stores. Yeah, like it has to be under 3%. And then you have to go to liquor stores for anything else.
Alaska's the same way. We generally have liquor stores like attached to grocery stores, but you can't just get them in a grocery store. Same with Alaska.
Not in Minnesota.
Montana's a little western, I guess, then.
Yeah, I
Montana
was
has
the
I
no
can
same.
get
You
shit
can
at
you can buy
Walmart.
stuff. Yeah, at Walmart. Yeah,
Target.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um,
Not here.
no. All right.
Just
Enough.
yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Morgan.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Nope.
I was
It
gonna
was
say
off topic again.
was it
Just
about
keep going.
drinks?
Huh?
Nothing. Enough about our drink choices and state judging of where to get alcohol. Kiss of Iron. This is about what's the name? A cat. Cat.
Cat.
And she was kind of married off, getting an arranged marriage. Well, her husband went into debt big time. Actually, she hasn't seen her husband in several years. She will tell you that. And he went into debt big time, and their estate is now crumbling. And because of that, she has been a highway robbery woman, for lack of a better term. I can't remember what they call her
A
in the
highway
book.
woman.
The wicked
Yeah, that's-
lady. The wicked
Highway.
lady.
The wicked
or something.
Oh, they call her
lady.
Wicked Lady. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And she's been robbing people so she can keep her estate afloat. And she robbed somebody. She robbed a fairy, and that fairy was not the person to rob, because then she ends up at the castle or at the the castle, the
Yeah.
queen's home as a queen's
Lady in waiting.
lady in waiting. And she sees the fairy she robbed again, but as in addition to being a lady in waiting, she's also a spy. And she's spying on this fairy. She's got to figure out his secrets. And I feel like that's kind of just where it left off.
Yeah,
She's
pretty
spying
much.
and figuring out his life secrets.
yeah.
That's-
So Cat's
that's all
hired
that's
by the
happening.
spy master to spy
That
on.
spy master is a douche.
Yeah, we'll get into that shit. That guy's a POS. But
Facts.
she's hired to spy. His name's Bastion. To spy on Bastion, because Bastion's part of the Dawn. Is he part of the Dawn Court? Is that right?
Dusk.
Dusk Court. And
Yeah, this fairy court is interesting because they've got one kingdom for the daytime
Night.
and one queen for the nighttime. And they
Mhm.
don't rule together. They rule night or day and night.
Yep.
yeah,
It's very strange. So they've all come together, though, because all of these courts are putting forward males and men, to try to court the queen of the kind of human realm that she is a lady in waiting to. So that's why they're all together at this castle.
and thus our story begins. Let's talk about Kat. I feel she's a good opener. She's a pretty interesting character. I'm not sure.
I think so.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
she started out like kind of cool. Like I loved the highwaywoman aspect because I love like highwaymen. I like how they're portrayed, and I like the storyline. I consistently like highwaymen stories, and so I was stoked when it was a highwaywoman, and she like puts off like a super badass front, and then she just like falls into this really disobedient and seen not heard role, which I understand is like part of the development of the character, I'm sure, but it's just like it sucks. Like I'm like, oh, she just like lost her badassery.
Yeah.
Right off the
It
bat.
seems like, when she was confronted with all of these men, because she lived alone at the estate with just like the two servants for forever, and she was just like a badass there. And then when she's confronted with all these men and high people in society, she's like thrust back into her past trauma with her husband and whatever, where she is supposed to be, seen and not heard, and she just kind of goes down a rabbit hole in her brain of like, oh, I just need to be obedient and hopefully avoid getting like beat up by these men that are like trying to take advantage of her and stuff. So yeah, I agree. She was badass, and then it kind of, hopefully she turns it around towards the end.
I think she will, because she's got some spark to her. Like she gets pissed off pretty often, but I don't know. I just don't. But I guess that's part of the story. Maybe I shouldn't be so quick to judge. But we're only halfway through, and it's annoying me. So
Yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I have, disclaimer, I have apparently read this book in the past and finished this book because parts of it I do remember, parts of it I don't. And I feel like I didn't finish the series because it wasn't complete, and I was in a very big, I'm not going to keep reading it if it's not a complete series, because I feel like the second book was already out and I didn't finish it because the third book wasn't out. I was like, I need the story to be complete. I feel like I was just dealing with my own cliffhanger trauma, probably related to Crescent City. And so that's why I did stop it. But I do feel like she does come back into her badassery, and her she does try to overcome her trauma, for sure.
That's good. Mm-hmm. I feel like also the world needs to, expand some, and hopefully it does. And she kind of moves along. I will say, so like the beginning of this story, we were talking about Regency romances last week, and this reminded me, it's like basically a Regency story,
fantasy.
Only there's fae involved, which basically you could just switch them out for like high society people, and it would be the same. It's like the whole, like at least 30% of the way into it, I was like, this is just reading like a Regency story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it definitely had that feel to it.
It feels like Bridgerton. I haven't even read Bridgerton, but I just imagine this is what Bridgerton feels like.
I've only read a couple of Bridgertons.
There's more stuff going on in Bridgerton. There's definitely not a lot of stuff.
Level.
Yeah, there's not a lot happening.
It's definitely a romance before it's anything else.
Yeah.
Like the plot is very
romance heavy.
Just surface level. I mean, it's not, I don't want to call it not tasteful, but just like it's just a romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Definitely seems the point of the book is just romance, and the plot is just barely there, just enough to like wonder.
Sprinkle.
Yeah, just enough to wonder what the heck they're doing, what the schemes are happening, but it's very much like a political intrigue, like very minimal political intrigue of spying and stuff. But yeah,
I do want to say the world does get, from what I do remember, the world does get expanded. I cannot for the life of me remember how it gets expanded, but it does. I do know that.
But you only read the first one?
I read the whole first one and probably a quarter or half of the second one before I said, the third one's not out. I'm not going to get attached.
You DNF'd?
I didn't DNF because I'm going back and I'm going to finish it now.
No, that's a DNF.
That's a DNF.
Chandler DNF. You heard it here first,
DNF.
folks.
It's a soft DNF.
It's a soft,
okay, maybe I'm a DNF. Soft DNFer and I'm not a hard DNFer.
Soft DNFer.
And Morgan is a hard DNFer.
Yeah. That's funny.
True.
Okay, that word I did make up, Morgan.
Yeah, I know. I liked that one. I approve of that one.
Okay. I did. Let's continue to talk about characters. Queen's spymaster, shady as fuck. And her uncle, also shady as fuck.
Yeah, he gives me like fucking greasy car salesman vibes so hard.
Yes.
The uncle.
That's
He's
exactly
so gross.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't even, do you guys talk? I don't even want to talk about him. He's so gross.
Yeah, he's so gross. Yes, I agree. I do really want to know about this like past memory that Kat seems to have suppressed in regards to her uncle. Because she talks about the little...
Beyond what happened with the saber cat.
Yeah, she talks about her saber cat and him breaking a little baby saber cat's neck. But then her sister, something happened with her sister too, because her sister's not around anymore. So I think she's bearing some sort of trauma about her sister dying.
Yeah.
And
she
it
hints
has to
at
do with the uncle for sure.
Yeah.
Agreed.
She leads us to believe that it has to do with her sister's inability to do as she's told, which is why she's so obedient and ugh,
Yeah.
is yucky.
Yucky.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, that it happened. God, I can't remember what book. It might have been like City of Bone or something, where somebody killed a family member, killed another, like a similar situation, killed someone's pet. Like that's how you get a distaste in your mouth with your audience for somebody's killer
Yeah.
childhood pet.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Absolutely.
the Spy Master. What's his name again?
Cav or something.
I don't even know.
Oh,
He's shady as hell.
Cavendish or something.
Cavendish.
Cavendish.
I think it's Cavendish.
I'll tell you.
He's super shady though. He's up to something.
Well, absolutely. And he's like weirdly attracted to Cat, but also like just textbook abuser.
Abusive.
Male.
Yes.
Yeah.
Textbook abusive.
Cavendish.
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 I do think her husband gets brought up so much that I think that we are going to see him at some point.
Yeah.
I don't there's no way her husband gets brought up as much as he gets brought up and we don't see him.
Yeah. For sure.
I wonder if it'll be, I think we're running out of room for a subplot in this one. But definitely in, I bet, the second.
Yeah. And then you remember the fox at the beginning of the book that she saved?
Yes.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about the fox.
I think that fox is a fae, and I think I don't think it's Bastion. I don't think it's Bastion. I think it's somebody else, but I think that fox was a fae. I don't know who it could have been, but it had to be in Bastion's little clique of people.
I think it was Bastion. Because he said when they met, he saw her, he what?
She robbed him.
Yeah, when she robbed him, he saw her and goes and said something about
of course it's you or something.
Yeah, like something about fate being strange, or here we are again.
Because the fox had red hair, the fox had orange hair and stuff, and Bastion's very largely described as a shadow daddy.
Yeah, but it has to.
And I feel like their animal coincides, like the way their animal looks coincides with the way they look.
Mm-hmm. But they also said they favor red hair. The Fae do.
Oh yeah, and other people.
Well, maybe on his little pet guy too.
Could be. Ooh, I could see it both ways.
I'll put my cards down.
Yeah, so could I.
I'll have to go and reread when they actually meet on the road and remember what he said.
Yeah, he says something about fate. I can't remember. I read that on like Monday and then put it down for a long time, and so I forgot about a part just now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I finished on Tuesday.
But yeah, do you guys like Bastion at all? Because I'm kind of torn on him too.
Yeah, I do like him.
I don't have enough info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need more information.
Information. What I do have, I like.
Yeah. So far, he's pretty good.
I think it's gonna just turn into pretty heavy smut, but
yeah. I mean, yeah. I
can't remember.
Well, I think because I texted you guys and said if any book is gonna turn into smut, it's gonna be this book.
Yeah.
And that was that's when I read the part where he could turn into two people.
I knew exactly what part you were talking about when I got there. I'm like, oh, this is what she was talking about.
Yes. When he could change into two people and see simultaneously through both bodies and control both bodies, I was like, oh, this is going to be a hard
this is what's going to happen. That's weird.
This is going to get dirty.
It's going to get dirty, for sure. I mean, it's already fairly dirty.
Quite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're already, they haven't
how
even
do you guys
sealed the
feel
deal
about
and we're
Ellie?
50%. What, Jen?
Ellie, or
I
is it
asked
Ella?
how you feel about Ellie.
Ella.
Ella?
I think it's Ella. I
I
like Ella.
think Ella is trouble.
I could see that.
I could see it. Because she's been a spy too. So I'm like, who is her target? And how close is she with Cavendish or whatever his name is? And yeah, I want to know more about that. I also want to see more of Serene or whatever her name is, the
Her little
maid.
Yeah,
wanna
she's
know more
sassy.
about
I
her.
like her.
She's
Yeah.
fun.
I
Yeah,
wanna
I think
know more about
Ella,
the
I
queen.
thought when Laura died, I thought Ella killed her until Cavendish confessed. But then maybe, well, because she said she's the one that told Kat to go into the building after Bastion.
Yeah.
And so that read super weird to me. Like, why is she having her? How would she know about this note? And, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she knows more than she's leading on. Maybe she's not like the bad guy. But
yeah. I could see it because, like, Cavendish said that he did it, but he's also a spy master. He never does things himself. So he could have had Ella do it.
Yep. And she said something along the lines of somebody, it was the face that she portrayed when she approached the corpse was just betrayal. And like she knew it's somebody that she knew and was close with, which would fit the bill for Ella for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed.
I don't know. Yeah.
I wonder if, what if Kat's her target?
Ooh.
There's an idea.
Hey, some shady shit.
Yeah.
And Kat's just
For
for
sure.
beans too.
Because we haven't even seen like her say anything about who is Ella with. Like Ella's always with her, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
And
she
she's
doesn't
always
mention her
she's
talking to
digging for
anyone.
information constantly,
Yeah.
which is kind of brushed off as just like girl talk, but like she tells her everything.
Yeah. I wonder if that's how Cavendish or whatever gets his information.
Gets his information before Kat
he
gives
weirdly,
it to him.
Yeah, he weirdly knows when they've been like more intimate.
Yeah.
And I know like he was having someone follow her, but we never figured out who was following her, like in the maze.
True.
Though Bastion stayed behind, so he would know who was following her, unless he didn't see anyone. I don't know. People are sketchy.
Who do you think Bastion's working for? Just his court?
His Dusk Queen.
Yeah, but then I also, why was he on the road? Why was he out?
Yeah.
He must have like a plan, whether it's for his queen or for himself or whatever, but he was like out when he shouldn't have been out and all that stuff.
There's
and
lots
what
of
is the
room
gold
for it
ball or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, what's that about too?
Yeah, what do you think that does?
And she can't open it, and he just doesn't know where it is.
His Oray?
Oray, yeah,
Oray. What do you think that does?
I don't know, but she like offered. I'm kind of torn on that because she like
obviously
offered to give it back to him, and he's like, "No, it's too late." But then is like trying to find all of the people that she
he's
sold
trying
it
to track it down.
Like, do you want it or not, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It obviously has some significance, but I think there's lots of room for the world to get not immensely bigger, but significantly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
At least much more complex than it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I wonder when she's going to stop feeding information.
When she's going to stop trusting Ella.
Yeah. Probably. I bet you're right. I bet that blows up and that's the tipping point. Interesting. Yeah. Do you have any quotes or scenes you guys want to talk about?
I have an ick if we want to do that first.
Yeah, let's go icks.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I literally don't even want to say it on a podcast. But how many times does she need to write the word pussy in a book?
Gross.
Stop. And then she even brought it up like her name is Kat. So then Ella was like, "Oh, because it's gonna be like your pussy." And I'm like, "Oh my god, can we stop?"
Yeah, like why are we doing this?
Too many times. She said it like 3 times in one paragraph. I was like, ugh. Don't like it.
That's a very good ick.
Yeah.
I ick every time that word is
Yep.
on the page.
Gag.
Do you have one, Chan?
I don't have an ick. I did have a scene that I did like.
You had a what?
I had a scene that I liked, though.
What? Tell us about it. Which one?
You remember when they went on that picnic and she was going to get another slice of cake, and that guy was like, "You really want to do that?" Like body shaming her for having another slice of cake. Fuck off, dude. Cake's cake.
Yep.
And Bastion like went to bat, and he was like, "Why are we body shaming her? Like, why are we judging her for having another piece of cake? She can have another piece of cake.
Yeah. What is cake for?
To be eaten."
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that was great.
And then it's shortly after this, after Laura's death and after the cake picnic thing, Bastion says, "Didn't Laura's death remind you how damn short your life is?" He spoke with low ferocity. "Too short to deny yourself, too short to spend it locked up in other people's rules." He released my shoulders. "Consider that the next time someone offers you cake. It's there to be eaten, just like life is to be enjoyed."
Cute.
And I loved that.
I also like that moment where he's like super vulnerable and he thought Laura was Kat, and he tells her, "I thought it was you." That was really sweet. But as for quotes, I didn't really have any quotes throughout the whole thing except for the dedication of this book. The dedication of this book is for the women who are behind their smiles fucking furious.
Ooh.
Such a good dedication.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't see it either. That is a great dedication.
Super great dedication. And that's what makes me think that this book is going to turn around and she's going to turn into a fucking badass.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely the suppression of... There's heavy gender roles that I think are going to flip a switch for sure. But
yeah.
I like... Do you feel like that is being portrayed well?
What do you mean?
Like
The I don't even know how to phrase it.
The sexism?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the heavy gender roles are clear and like it's not murky, I guess.
I also feel like it's like well enough, known. Like the author Claire doesn't have to do a whole lot in wit. She, says, "Oh, this is the type of society where women are obedient," and we're like, well, we all know what that looks like. So
Yeah.
there's not much, expanding needed on what that means, really.
Right.
But so I think it did good.
I'll enjoy the transition, I think, into her being a little badass.
Same. I always like that character build, though.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Morgan, do you
Questions
have
for
a
each
quote?
other? Huh?
Do you have a quote?
No, I don't. I struggled pretty good for the first probably 40%.
Me too.
And then that last 10 I breezed through last night, but it's reading kind of slow for me.
Agreed.
TBH.
That's fair.
Definitely slow. There's not enough going on, and it's there's a lot we don't know. So not a lot of plot happening when we also don't know anything other than, the spunniness. There's not a lot really happening. So I feel you. I also struggled through most of the first half. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. What else do we talk about on podcasts?
I think that was
That's
it.
kind of it.
I think that's it for right now. I think think the first half of this book was so largely like getting to know who the character is at this moment in time and getting a little bit of their past, that we don't have like a lot of character building, a lot of theories, a lot of that yet.
Yeah.
It's definitely slowly getting there. I could definitely feel like theories and action and all that stuff is going to be happening on the horizon.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, if that's it for next week, we are
That's all
going
I
to
got.
read the rest of A Kiss of Iron, which is chapter 42 through the end. And that's where we're at.
Woo-hoo.
All right. See you guys next
Good
week.
deal. See you next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast.
If you liked our ramblings, please tune in next week and follow us on social media. Book recs and drink recs are always welcome. Until next time.